Everybody, it's Kyle Daniels with Vista Sotheby's International Realty bringing you the Hill Report for Tuesday, October 4th, 2022. I'm going to talk a little bit about the quarterly numbers as well as this past week's numbers. So let's jump in. Let's see where things are. And, we're seeing some slowdown in the market, which I want to remind everybody is completely normal for this time of year. Now, I told somebody on the phone earlier, the market's in this funny place where we went from what I equate to like if my kids went to a birthday party, had a bunch of cake and ice cream and we're all hyped up, and then they came home and I said, "Hey guys, I need you to help with chores." Well, my kids would be like, "Daddy, no, that's not very much fun." Where if they go to school, come home and I ask them to do chores, it's not as big of a deal. Well, that's kind of like the real estate market. We went from this crazy market where we were seeing extraordinary activity out there, bidding wars, the whole deal. And then now we're going back to normal, and normal feels so much different. So again, we'll talk a little bit about normal, but that's just my overall commentary on what we're going through right now. And I know it's kind of unnerving for some people because we're used to a certain thing and now it's changing. Change can create some anxiety out there, but all in all, things aren't so bad. So let's look at it. We have 18 closed sales, and this past week, 11 of them closed over the list price while 7 closed below. Now, if my math's right, that means we had more close above list than we had those closing below list price. Now, it wasn't a huge amount of money on average. Let's say we were like at 179 was the list price and we closed at 182. So not a huge jump, but a little bit higher. And again, we're not seeing these massive bidding wars, but we are seeing the right house go over asking. And remember, this is an average, so there's some that went over and some that went less. That gets averaged out. As far as new inventory, we have 12 new listings. The median price about 1.5 million. So again, it's still a healthy market in terms of pricing. We met that same number with 12 new escrows in the past week. So for every new listing that came on the market, we found a buyer out there for at least another property. So we had really no net gain in new inventory. And again, we'll talk about that a little bit later. We saw 17 price reductions, and those are coming after about 43 days on the market. So again, things start sitting for a while, we're seeing the price reductions. By the way, those homes that went into escrow were going in right around a month. So buyers are taking their time. Again, no big surprise. Price reductions anywhere from like $10,000, which is kind of wasting your time, to $250,000. Now, we had one listing fall out of escrow and go back on the market, but then we had 6 sellers decide to cancel their listings. So if I read that right, we actually lost inventory in the past week. So let's talk about what that means. On a normal year, we see peak inventory usually around July. Sometimes it's June, some years it's August or even September. But this year, and for most years, we peaked in July, okay? But if we look on a longer term chart, and I can make these available for you if you'd like, our peak inventory is actually lower than where it was pre-pandemic. And what that looks like in numbers, well, there's 100 single family homes for sale on the entire Palos Verdes Peninsula. Now in PV Estates, that's 28 homes. It's actually 27, one of those is a condo. RPV has 52 single family homes, a total of 63 listings, so 11 townhomes or condos. Rolling Hills, they're all single family homes. There's 8 on the market. 3 of those are actually under 4 million, which we haven't seen in quite some time. So there's some opportunity there. There's also some up at 15 million. So it's not necessarily indicative of the whole pricing back there, but we are seeing a few need a little more work on the market there. And then Rolling Hills Estates, we have 13 single family homes. That's running about normal. If we look back in 2019, PV Estates had 84 homes on the market. We only have 28 right now. RPV had 153. We have 63 right now. Rolling Hills had 6. We have 8. That doesn't change too much. There's not as much inventory. And Rolling Hills Estates had 22. We're at 23. So, despite all the headlines and people want to say, wow, I heard somebody say, hey, it's a buyer's market. Look, we really can't call it a buyer's market until we have enough inventory to actually an excess of inventory to meet the buyer's demand. So what does that mean? Well, we're still in a seller's market, and is this time to panic sell? Well, no. In fact, the opposite. the reason the inventory is not so high is because so many of our sellers are not selling right now because one, they don't have a place to go to. Two, they have locked in low interest rates unless you bought in the last 3 months, and you're probably not thinking of selling, and if that's the case. And a lot of people are just happy in their homes. It's okay. We did it. We had this great movement during the pandemic, and people decided they want to leave or change their jobs or do things. Other people decided, hey, I'm happy right where I am. And so, we may be in a cycle where people live in their homes longer. So, if you're a seller, there's no panic to go sell. If you love your home, stay in it. If you need to sell, well, hey, there's more buyers still than there are sellers out there. So with low inventory, it's not a bad time to be a seller. If you're a buyer, hey, look, there's some things you need to do to get yourself positioned, but you have less competition. That's one known fact. There's not as many people throwing out these crazy offers, so you're not necessarily going to have to be in a big overbid situation. And if there's some sellers that are really serious about getting their home sold, they might be more flexible for pricing. Just do yourself a favor, do me a favor if you're working with me. Go talk to your lender, make sure you have all your information updated, because there's so many different products, there's different things where even the seller can help you buy down points against it. There's ways to negotiate, but there's also ways to position yourself so you get a loan that maybe it's a short-term loan, 7 years, because odds are you're probably going to refi anyways. If it's a house you're going to do work on, you're almost definitely going to refi because you'll have a different home to get appraised later. And there's all kinds of things. I'm the guy that has always gotten a 30-year mortgage, and I just went through an entire box of paperwork of refis. So yes, my lenders love me because I refi. I get those 30-year rates, which I probably should have just gotten a 7-year mortgage all these years and saved a bunch of money in interest. I didn't. I like to sleep more at night with those 30-year loans, but the reality is you can always refi a mortgage, and there's a decent chance that maybe the rates are going to be better at some point down the road. That's it this week. I hope you enjoyed the pep talk. And if you have any questions about PV real estate or just real estate in general, or any questions, I'm size 10 if you want to ask that. Okay, now I'm being silly. Just reach out, and you can find me on Instagram or on my website, kyledanielsrealestate.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. Bye.